Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Casey at Hypersanity Books, and today I'll be reviewing the Guardians of Magic series by Melissa Nash, more specifically, Book 1, Autumn. Now, this particular author I met on TikTok. She reviewed Dark Sparrow first, gave it 4 stars. However, her review is extremely good. I accept Dark Sparrow is 4 stars. Some say 3, some say 5. Now, this particular review that she did was insightful into a certain way I should structure or outlay for the second book coming forward. After reading this book, I have to say she is a very experienced author. Now, at this stage, she's got 2 books out. Third one's coming. Absolutely anticipating for it. So we'll just start off by saying this book has a prologue and 30 chapters. It is extremely well written. It starts off where each chapter goes between certain characters. That helps with the narrative on the journey. That in itself was really good. So you have the chapter name, a little section saying what character, and even in the beginning paragraph it starts off setting the scene, setting the perspective of the character. It is an extremely well written book, well structured. Other than that, I'll just get right into it. The story starts off with Sarah. Her character is the protagonist to what I see. There is another character, Shumeti, who almost feels like a protagonist in another way. This was interesting how the characters were pre-developed and developing through the story. That was in itself was good. Shumeti, I think I got the name right. I apologize if I don't. She has a father, Saglin. Her auntie is Astrid. And there's a history where the auntie and her father were the original 6 Guardians of Magic. This added a lot more of a history into the book, but was easy to understand and easy to move forward with the story. The characters are lovable. Sarah meets and stays with the family. The father teaches her how to use the bow. That I have very limited experience with archery. I have never ridden a horse before. That was a combination into the story that worked well. I've seen other books do a lot of over-explaining. This was well written to getting into the imagination and keeping the narrative moving forward. The story just had so many good points. Now, it focuses on 3 women or heroine as the narrative progresses on the journey. One of the things that I found was interesting with the story, the author Melissa Nash has a background in geography, and that just added something more to the environment, which doesn't happen in too many books, with a journey that goes through where you're focused on the environment. Now, I liked the Never-Ending Story because of how it went through a lot of scenery. It was the same with the films to book. This, however, in the book, you do feel a lot more of the wind, you do feel with the water, and the way it worked in with the magic system, it was extremely well done. There are just too many good points with this book that I could talk about for hours, but got to keep the time limited. I found getting into different characters to things I haven't personally experienced, which was also really well done. I'll read a little bit of the story. Shumeti is introduced, previously mentioned her father, Saglin, and Astrid is her auntie. So Astrid is talking in this part of the narrative. Astrid turned to the 6 sets of dusty armor that adorned the walls. That set was mine, the one beside it was Saglin's, then next to one was Lyra's, then Anna's, Jemiana's, and finally Dagar's. Dagar's died during our final battle, Sieglin said. The last I heard of Lyra, she had travelled into Bokor. Anna and Jeremiah settled down to live in Attaching, but I heard news that Jemina had also died. There is a lot of history in there, but it is kept in a shorter form and moves the narrative forward. This in itself makes me question what's going to happen in the next book. I'm already guessing what's going to happen in spring and summer. The series is based over a 1 year period. To what Melissa has said, it's over a 1 year period through 4 seasons. As a quadrilogy, it's just really well done. Now, I'm only judging off the first book, that's all I've read so far. I will be reviewing Winter soon enough. Within this scene, it talked about the 6 Guardians of Magic from previous, so that in itself makes me wonder, are there going to be a total of 6 characters moving through the adventure besides 3 women? It's hard to say. It was just enjoyable. The setting, how it went from location to location, and it was a simple explanation, kept the narrative moving forward. The way the characters were on the journey together, yet one character shows things from from Sarah's point of view, and then another chapter is showing it from Shumeti's point of view, because the characters are in close proximity, and there is a certain relationship development that needs to happen through the narrative. So there is a lot of potential the way this series was done as a reference tool to learn from for your writing. The characters end up in a cave where there's a love, trust, hate relationship with this other character that's quite shady. The way she's presents herself, you know she's evil, and that she has bats that are attached to her body around the cave, and when she says her name, the way the bats react to it, that sent chills down my spine. I absolutely love this antagonist. The story keeps moving along. There's a lot more mystery. I'm trying not to spoil. The climactic chapter, chapter 29, you know by the chapter name, it's going to be an awesome climax. The final chapter comes, it leads into the story continuing. That all being said, I rate this book 5 out of 5. Absolutely no dispute on that. I will continue to enjoy the series. I am looking forward to every book that Melissa Nash writes, because there is that effort put into each book. It's not a cliche series where Scooby-Doo, it leads to the climax where the mask is taken off and all the villains are human all along, because if that's not deep, then I don't know what is. That being said, that's it for today. Hit like, subscribe. I will be putting links for Melissa Nash in the description. Otherwise, follow her on social media, and I'll be reviewing Winter very soon, because here in Australia, winter is actually coming. Otherwise, that's it for today, and keep reading. If you have a book you'd like me to read, review, talk about, absolutely send it my way. Otherwise, that's it, and there's a map. I forgot to mention the map. Otherwise, it's not one you really need to look over while reading the ebook. Thank you.